I'm Kim Serafini. And most people don't know, so I'm here to share with you what we do as a company in terms of Mind Power Technologies platform being leveraged by great professionals, people who are world-class speakers, want to be best-selling authors or already are, people who are great coaches or business owners, mentors, trainers or teachers, and people who are actually leaders of teams in direct sales or in network marketing or teams in organizations, or in fact leaders of teams, sporting teams, people who are responsible for managing departments in educational institutions. And so the reality is that we actually create or we produce these things called sessions, and we curate over 800 images that perfectly prime the audience or the reader or the viewer or the participant or the student so that they can actually be in a state that we can actually measure with MRI machines, where the broaden and build theory or the effect of the broaden and build theory model is actually at play. So the brain is actually more creative. The areas that are necessary for acquiring knowledge and recall and memory, they're actually incredibly activated or stimulated through this process called positive priming. And we work with all of these professionals at helping them to actually develop about 200 what we call positive statements. And we put those statements onto backgrounds or templates that are very carefully designed, and they adhere to all sorts of accelerated learning principles. And then we actually use fancy algorithms to create essentially a process where 1,000 flashcards can transition in front of somebody's eyes. And so people are actually learning more efficiently and more effectively when they're actually reading these particular statements within the context and the environment of a positive priming session. So the images that are chosen are actually selected to make sure that the viewer has a state change, as Anthony Robbins would talk about it. Some people think I'm a bit crazy, and I love being crazy. I'm certainly a nerd. You know how Steve Jobs had that fantastic Apple advertisement that was about the crazy ones? Well, I actually do believe that we can fundamentally change, transform and transition, fundamentally change the way that we learn and acquire knowledge and apply that knowledge and become much better people with much brighter prospects, and we develop our real potential. And so if you'd like to find out more about how we can actually create or produce one of these sessions and then publish it onto our platform so that you can leverage it as a product or actually just as an activity. So I'll give you a tiny little bit of an insight. The truth is that in my own organization, I require the people who are actually turning up to a meeting to watch a session for at least a couple of minutes before the meeting so that they're actually in a primed state, a positively primed state. It means that they're actually going to be more creative, more solutions orientated. If there are complex mental tasks, we actually approach them in a much better way. There's so much science that actually justifies and substantiates what I'm saying. So if you really want to dive into the evidence, I'm very happy to provide it all for you. But our proprietary formula is truly unique and absolutely extraordinary, and it works, and we have actually done the research that proves that, or we've actually had people objectively do that research and absolutely confirm that one of our sessions does positively prime. So you can actually Google what is positive priming, and you can dive deeper into the fields of positive psychology and neuroscience about how we actually are in much more positive states and what that physically does for our performance and our productivity and our ingenuity and our resourcefulness and 1,000 other outcomes. So anyway, please join us. It's actually so much more convenient and affordable and faster than you think, but it is an incredible tool, and I do believe that in the future we will see millions of people positively priming themselves before a meeting. We will see millions of people actually have all of the messages in a workshop or in a speech reinforced for easy recall reasons through positive prime sessions. So find out more, dive in with us, come on this journey and be a part of this amazing movement.